Few presentations have challenged my thinking more than Roger Liddle's talk at the meeting of the Social Democrat Group, reported earlier on LDV. Delivered with an almost Churchillian eloquence, it set out why a long-term perspective may pay off in the end. The clever thing about the 2-year transition period requested by Theresa May, he points out, is that it renders the exit itself painless. By means of this Brexit now, pay later ploy, the huge cost is kicked well into the future, and the electorate robbed of an immediate reason to protest. But the good news, Liddle believes, is that rejoining the EU should be a feasible proposition when the country finally wakes up. But we must stop Brexit now. That was the reaction of subsequent speakers. And indeed, I myself have emphasized the urgency for a second vote. We have nothing to lose, have we? Yes, we have, says Liddle, because if we lost 2 referendums in a row, our long-term prospects would be even worse. And there is a high risk of such a defeat, because referendums are inherently treacherous. Furthermore, we are severely outgunned. Much has been made of encouraging signs that the tide is turning, but the significant statistic about Brexit is that despite being unmitigated twaddle and a piece of criminal insanity, almost half the population still believe in it. That is, in large measure, testament to the success of the Brextremist propaganda machine, our right-wing press. They were emboldened by their win last time and are now cruising smugly along, so we are apt to forget their power. But the minute they sniff a referendum brewing, you can bet they will go into overdrive. And who do we have on our side? A few publications with a relatively small and select readership: The Guardian, The Independent. A public broadcaster totally obsessed with balance. Captains of industry that remain silent when they should be speaking out. Members of parliament who should be doing what they know is right but who cower instead like frightened rabbits before the will of the people. All we have in terms of real fighters is a few heroic individuals like Gina Miller and members of Britain for Europe and such like groups, which is why I say we are outgunned. A march here, a protest there, but nothing to match the enormous influence of the Brexit press cartel and right-wing media. It is truly a David and Goliath struggle that we face. There's a second reason why playing a waiting game may have some merit. If we can step back and stop thinking about Britain for a moment, we might acknowledge that it may be best for Europe. Our country is badly infected with Euroscepticism, chronically poisoned by decades of lies. Is it not fair and just that we should be quarantined for the greater good of the European project, poised as it is for renaissance with time? If we are patient, our malice may burn itself out. The older generation will pass on, and with them the curse they have placed on the younger generation. Even Jeremy Corbyn may retire someday, and a new government elected on an unambiguously pro-European ticket. When we eventually rejoin, or find a place again as Macron puts it, we will do so in the spirit of a more sober and genuine appreciation of the European continent. So much for long-term views and altruism. The problem is, I don't share Liddle's confidence that we can hop back into the EU so easily. My sympathy is with the marchers and protesters demanding an immediate end to this calamity. We've debated and pontificated enough, and frankly, my patience is running out. John King is a retired doctor and remained campaigner. Read more by John King or more about Brexit or Roger Liddle. This entry was posted in Oaths.